Which is better, a bucket plan strategy or a guardrail strategy? Now, if you're planning for retirement and trying to think through how you're going to get money out of your retirement accounts, you may have come across these terms. Some people think one is better, other people think the other is better. But I want to suggest that you could use both to help you have the best retirement possible. And let me explain why I say that. A bucket plan strategy allows you to design your portfolio to match with your cash flow needs. With a bucket plan strategy, you'll have a short-term bucket, a mid-term bucket, and a long-term bucket. And that short-term bucket is going to be the money that you need in the first 5 years. The mid-term bucket would be the money that you need in the next 5 years. And then the long-term bucket is going to be all the money you need beyond 10 years. And by having those buckets, you can invest the money that's for the short term conservatively so that it's not going to have any fluctuation. You can invest the money for the midterm, the mid bucket, more moderately, so it has some growth but not too much volatility, so you can still be assured that it's going to be there when you need it. And then the money in the long-term bucket can be invested more aggressively so that it will keep up with inflation, so that you can outpace inflation and have the growth that you need to ensure that you don't run out of money before the end of life. That bucket plan strategy is a very solid way of designing a portfolio in retirement. And it gives you some real security that your portfolio is going to do what you need it to do for you. A guardrail strategy works a bit differently. It's going to look at how much money you initially have and what your distribution from that is going to be. And then it's going to say, okay, if you get this much growth so that your accounts go from here to here, then you're going to be able to increase the money that you're taking from your accounts. But if conversely your accounts are here and they drop, then you're going to need to back off of the distributions to give your portfolio some time to recover. Those are the guardrails, the upper limit and the lower limit, where you know that you need to either cut back on spending or you can increase your spending. Those guardrails can still work with a bucket plan strategy, and they can let you know if that long-term bucket has grown enough that you can actually move some money out of the long-term bucket and into your short-term and your mid-term bucket and increase your spending. They can also let you know that if the long-term bucket has dropped, that you may need to cut out on some of the extra spending that you have in your plan for a year or two. Give the long-term bucket some time to recover before you're making any other shifts within the portfolio. So both of these strategies can guide the way that you're managing your portfolio in retirement. They can guide how you invest, as well as when you change the amount of spending that you're pulling on a year-by-year basis. And you can look at both strategies together to ensure that you have a good, solid plan for all of your retirement. Now, and that is the way that I'm managing money for my clients, looking at how to align their assets with the cash flow needs, but then also monitoring, are there points in time that we can actually increase our spending as opposed to having all that growth left over at the end. Part of the reason for being retired is to be able to enjoy retirement. And so to the extent that we can build in some additional spending, that is something that I like to see people be able to do in retirement. So I hope that's helpful. If you don't have a financial advisor that is helping you work through this, and you would like to talk to somebody that can give you some feedback and some insights, then feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to talk to you about your bucket plan and guardrail strategy and how you can be on your best path in your retirement.